Does the person you are with encourage you to read? You have to ask, what does he bring for me? Roses or books? If someone has a stake in making you better, that person will push you towards books. Books are what we all need.
There has to be a backdrop of failure for me to talk of success, correct? If I'm already home, will I even talk of success? If I'm already okay, will I talk of accomplishment? Will I? So, when you say you need to be successful, there is a tacit acknowledgement that you are not yet successful, correct? You are not yet successful, therefore you need to be successful, which is all okay. None of us is born successful, so we need to be successful. But I am emphasizing on that because a lot of people talk too much about success without first inquiring into what their shortcoming or need or failure is like. If I do not know my requirement, what is it that I'll order in a restaurant or a mega mart or some other place? The world is a great shopping mall. It might have everything to offer. But first of all, I must know my own requirement. So, all kinds of things are there and people are chasing all kinds of things, and that is called as success. But what is it that you really need? Do we pay attention to that? Do we inquire into that? Success is something obviously we all need. But what will be the definition of your personal success? Who will tell you that? Come on, please. Who will tell you that? And therefore, success is something highly, highly personal. Highly personal. There can be no one set criteria that fits all. You have to figure out what is it that you lack within. And the purpose of life is to address that lack. If I lack, let's say, in knowledge, then my success lies in gaining knowledge. If I lack in faith, something as basic as faith, my success would not lie in gaining knowledge or money, it would lie in gaining faith. If I lack in love, what is the point in becoming a successful entrepreneur? It is love you lacked and you still lack that. Raising 4 new firms or factories will not address your loveless state, and a lot of people do that because life is loveless. So I'll start one more venture. That won't help you. You're treating the wrong disease, you're barking up the wrong tree. Are you getting me? But our education does not take us inward. School, college, UG, PG, doctorate, formal, informal, our education fails to take us inward. It's not that the subjects that we are taught are all worthless. They are very, very important, very important. I'll forever remain thankful to my schools, to IIT, to IIM, and to all the authors whose books I read. I'll forever be indebted to them. But the fact remains that education of the self is far more important than all the other kinds of knowledge that we are given. And that's something we do not have. The result is that the person is chasing goals all her life without even knowing whether the goal is worthy enough. There is nobody who is without target, ambition, desire. All of you have to-do lists, all of you have dreams, and that's all okay. To be human is to dream. To be human is to desire, or that's all okay, that's fine. The question is your goal worthy enough? And what is it that decides the worthiness? The answer is suitability. Is your goal suitable to you or to your neighbor? The goal today is to run 6 kilometers. You are 55 kgs, the neighbor is 95. Sir, don't ape his goal. His goal is suitable, not to you. You rather go to some cafe and get a sound breakfast. That's what you need, 55 kgs. But we copy others' goals. We act as if there is a universal criteria of success. We never look at ourselves and ask, who am I? And therefore, what do I need? That question is never raised in our classrooms. Who are you? Self. That word is entirely missing from our curricula. Self. You're taught mathematics and management and engineering, science, languages, polity, sociology, literature. But who is it that receives all the knowledge? The self. And the self is never taught. How wise is that? Please tell me. Is that wise? Is that wise? And that's not wise. And therefore, after all the education, we still have very, very stupid goals. Very stupid goals. We do not know the nature of the self. We do not know where our dreams and desires, and dreams can turn into greed very quickly, right? There is nobody who teaches us this distinction between dream and greed. When the 2008 crisis happened, and I was just 5 years out of IIM at that point, and all of my batchmates were in the same banks that collapsed. So when that crisis happened, I was in touch with a few of them. And I noted that the ones responsible for the meltdown were all from Ivy League institutions. Not just IIM Ahmedabad, I'm talking of Harvard, Wharton, Kellogg's, all the fancy names. And what is it that they gave to the world? A huge crisis that resulted not only in economic hardships, but actually a lot of deaths. How did that happen? They were from such fancy backgrounds, and still they did something so suicidal, so childish, so irresponsible. How did they do that? Because they were not educated in the self. That's the problem. So you do not know the distinction between dream and greed. And the distinction is not very obvious, mind you. You need to be taught. You need to inquire. You require time to delve into that. It deserves respect. It deserves to be a course. It deserves to have textbooks. It deserves to have examinations. Otherwise, you will keep making stupid decisions and the goals. His goal was to buy an island. The result? He sunk a 100-year-old bank from the island. The island never came about. The bank too collapsed. But that's the goal that you inherit, right, from the movies. If I'm successful, I'll have a yacht and an island and massive property in London. Who wants to settle down in Gurgaon or Bangalore? Come on. London, that's the place. And that too, not central London. It has to be the suburbs, where amenities meet the countryside. So that's the kind of life purpose most people operate with. Think of this. This is somebody's life purpose. And that fellow is an IITian. Then he went to an IIM. And then he did his PhD from Harvard. And this is his life purpose. I want to buy a yacht. Are you a kid, 4-year-old? That's how my nephew behaves. He's 4. Every time I visit the house, he's like, toy. He wants a toy yacht. This fellow wants a bigger yacht. What is the difference? What is the difference? Please tell me. All your life, your goal is a toy. Give me a toy, please. The next toy, the next toy, the next toy. And you do not realize life is toying with you. Before you run after goals, shouldn't you ask where are your goals coming from? I'm asking you, please. Had I just chosen the common goals, I wouldn't have been standing here in front of you. No, that would have been to the relief of many of you, I understand, but still. This, the point I have come to, is not at all a social point. Not at all a point my education ever taught me to come to. I was all alone, very, very lonely, all throughout my journey. Forget about this being an established path of movement. This is not even a very acceptable area of human activity at all. People talk of entrepreneurship. This is not even an industry. And it took 20 years of solitude to come to this point. And that is when all kinds of goals were beckoning. Not just professional, personal as well. The day my name appeared in the civil services list, some minister came rushing with his daughter's hand. He must have had access to Home Ministry. He got my address as well from the list of successful candidates. And he came in, nice one, Brahmin, looks decent. Just check whether all his organs are okay, like you check an animal, you know. That's the kind of goal the society bogs you down with. Now that you're a civil servant, get married to an influential politician's daughter. And he'll have a truckload of dowry to offer. And the daughter too was good looking, not to deny that. If you have money, very easily that makes you good looking. No? So goal, what is it that you want in life? You must know. And that is something, I repeat, very, very personal. Because your goal has to arise from your own insufficiency. Your dream, your desire, your ambition has to be rooted in where you are still insufficient, deficient. What else can be a goal? If I'm someone who is easily scared, my goal has to be, come on, get rid of my fearfulness. Correct? There is a world outside and there is a world inside. Where do you live? I'm asking you. Please tell me. Where do you live? You actually live in the world within. Even the world outside is experienced inside. Therefore, the insufficiency has to be within. The insufficiency that you address has to be an internal thing. Therefore, the goal has to be internal. You cannot just say, my goal is earning money. That's an external goal. Yes, the external world can offer you a path, but a path is not a goal. Earning money, if it is, you feel, a suitable way to get rid of your fear, then do earn money. But earning money cannot be an end in itself. If earning money is a way to get rid of your fear, then earning money is okay. But earning money, I mean, I don't live there. I live in here. And I do not know what is in here, because my senses do not take me there, nor does my education. The eyes cannot look within, correct? And the role of the education is to take the student within, and education fails in fulfilling its role. This is not my 4th appearance at IIT as a speaker. This must be my 20th or something. Back in 2011, I was here teaching the students a course called Self and Value Clarity. There was a course I had designed. And I had pleaded with the authorities here. It's been more than a decade. I do not exactly remember all the details. But I came here at least 10 times then. 2011 it was. A few recordings are in fact available. If you'll go to YouTube, you'll find some of those sessions. Some 10, 20 or 30 students sitting in a classroom, and I'm talking to them, and the topic is the self. Because my experiences were constantly telling me, we lack in this, we lack in this. And because my ecosystem comprised of people from IIT, from IIM, so I was seeing that it is this place that needs that thing the most. So I chose to address this place, typically IIT-Delhi, because it is my alma mater. Goal setting is life setting. If goals go wrong, life goes wrong. Your goal is everything. Huh? Take more than 12.5 seconds in determining your goal, please. That's how we determine our goal. Okay, so what is it that you want? What is it that you want? What is it that you want? Okay, let's take an average. Let's take an average of what everybody else wants, and that becomes my want. Oh, he's quite famous, and he's quite powerful, and he's elderly, so let's take a weighted average. These people will have double the weight. 2x plus y plus 3z divided by 6. That becomes my goal. How responsible is that? You live as yourself, right? We have relationships, we have this, we have that. But ultimately, you have a solitary existence here, in here, right? And you exist for the sake of your own liberation, correct? When you die, nobody else dies with you. When you suffer, frankly, nobody else can suffer with you. Oh, they can empathize, that's okay. And you were born alone. So your goal cannot be a communal goal. It cannot arise of society, community, tradition, or such things.